What's up, everybody? This is Greg with Advantage One Brokers, and this is the ADV1 podcast. I'm your host, Greg Birch, and with me, I have a very special co-host slash guest speaker slash guest, Miss Cynthia Vo. Cynthia, how are you doing
Hey
today?
there, how are you doing, Greg?
Doing very well. Doing very well. Thank you. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, awesome.
So to start off with a couple notes, make sure
Mhm.
that you for outfit people watching, check out the Advantage One Brokers swag store. Go check it out. Go get some shirts, polos, whatever you need for the field, or just a sport around the house if you're doing some tail sales. Also, this is the month of October, therefore, we are doing our quality level term. Uh, um, what is the word I'm looking for? Competition
Launch. Oh, okay.
competition. So, top 10 people with the highest net issue paid production by November 13th is going to there's going to be different awards. So top person is going to get $5,000 cash and flown out to Sacramento to go meet Chris Spencer, spend a day with them, get on podcast with us, and go out to dinner with us. So it'll be a good time.
That's
So
Write a
start
lot of write a lot of quality.
write a lot of quality term, which is easy to write because it's a great product. So,
Yeah.
with all that being said, Cynthia,
Yes,
how are
sir.
you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Couldn't be
So
better.
tell me a little bit about you. I don't really know much about you, Cynthia. So tell me about you. How'd you get in the insurance industry? You know, what brought you here, and we'll kind of dig in.
Well, I actually started about 10 years ago.
Okay.
I was, oh my goodness, I was 19 at that age, 19 years old. And I had just opened up, fully launched my first restaurant, going to college. And then I got hooked in because at that time, I got recruited at. So when I first started at that company, I was like, oh my goodness, this is how all the millionaires, because, they were just really pushing all of us that we had the mindset. And they were like, yeah, you'd be really good at this because you already have the mindset for business. So then I was like, okay. So then I jumped in more. And then I was able to make some sales, but it was very family and friends. There were no leads. So slowly after that, as I kept going through the process, they were able to sit there and tell me, okay, so this is what you're doing, things like that. And I slowly started to just die out because there was so much training, but I felt like at that time I just wasn't ready in my
Mm-hmm.
life for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I did the whole college path, opened up some restaurants. Actually, before pandemic hit, I had 7 restaurants, and at that time, I was in the position to acquire another nightclub. So at that time, I was already working with the nightclub. We were taking over the kitchen. We were taking over the bar. Eventually, going to take into the nightlife, and then COVID hit, and everything shut down for a year and a half.
Yeah.
So I just kind of tucked my tail between my legs and just ran for it. So I actually, I worked at the same IMO as you, Greg, and because of that, it was a great opportunity. It is what it is. But then you brought me back over here too. So
That's
I saw the opportunity and I was like, he's a great guy. Why not? Let's do this.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. So it's interesting to find out that you've had a lot of success as an entrepreneur. You
Yes.
own a lot of businesses, restaurants, bars,
Mhm.
stuff like that. Um, and just because of COVID changed your business to the point to where here you are in insurance.
What's funny was I, at that time, never would have imagined going back here. I was like, you know what? I have 6 figures in my bank account as the savings. I'm doing great. Now I am $3 million in debt.
Yeah.
Um, and you know what? It changed my perspective on everything. Like I realized how much I was paying lawyers. So because of that, I said, screw it. I'm going to law school. So now I'm a full-time law student as well.
Oh, there you go. That way
Yeah.
you don't have to pay anybody. I like it.
Exactly. So that's kind of why I was just like, this is it. I'm changing my life around.
Mhm.
But I saw this opportunity and there's so much room for growth,
Yeah.
you know.
And,
Yeah.
and when you were at the previous practice company,
Mhm.
and what actually attracted you to even look over at Advanced Brokers and come over here?
Well, to be honest, number one, it was actually the leads.
Mm,
At that previous company, I had, I'm like I said before, I used to own restaurants. So for me to even open a restaurant, I was used to spending 300, $400,000 just dropping it, not blinking an eye. That's how much the architect, building it out, structure of the company, things like that. I was so used to spending that. And when people are like, "Oh yeah, you have to buy leads," I'm like, "Sweet, that's normal. That's part of the business. We have to buy food every single day to sell at the restaurant. So what difference does it make if you have to buy leads in order to sell? That's your client base." And slowly I started realizing, now I had great leadership, but I also realized the reason why my leadership, we weren't growing as much as we could, was because they didn't have the leadership they needed. So I was getting all the support, but I realized it was at the expense of my leadership, where they were unable to grow themselves because they were so busy helping me and they weren't getting the support. So the reason why I came over was leads, but the real reason why I stayed was because the structure and how great our leadership is,
mm,
and how candid and how transparent, Chris and Spencer and John and even yourself, you've been open and honest with us,
mm,
and I love that. I love the fact that we're able to, I have your cell phone. If I needed something, or even all of the other managers that are coming over, like on Slack, Kevin is always there, Genevieve is always there. It's amazing. While over there you do have some type of leadership, but no one really knows anybody. It's very small, I guess, where I was under a certain person, and so it was like I couldn't reach out to another line just because it wouldn't make sense. But over here, even if it's not the same line, it doesn't matter.
yeah,
We're all able to still help each other out.
yeah, and that I think that does make a big difference when it comes
Yeah.
to having resources you can reach out to and
Mhm.
knowing that somebody's going to help you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know about what your entire experience has been, but I know that something that we try to teach is, hey, if somebody reaches out to ask you for help, at
Mhm.
no point should anyone ever respond with, "Who's your upline?" It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're all on the same team. We're all looking to succeed. So if you have the
Mhm.
answer, if you can
Mhm.
help, pitch in and help. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
So
Many times, like you were saying, many times when I have reached out, it was never, "Who is your upline?" I've sometimes, like, I forget, just, I mean, he's always there. He, like, Will is my upline, and he has been such a great support system for me.
mm,
um and our entire team. And the funniest part is, even, like, I guess, like, my running partner, so other people that will have recruited, we all work together as running mates,
yeah,
is what I would call it. However, whenever I have Genevieve helping me, or Kevin Vega, or even, Jess has been helping me so much with contracting and things like that.
mm,
It's more of the, "Oh, who is your upline so that I can help you and them too." It's
yes,
always like, let me help everybody. It's not just, let me just do one person and, all right, good luck. You reached out, great.
mm,
I've had such an incredible experience with the management, the leadership, and because of that, I'm able to close a lot.
yeah,
Just because sometimes I know, if on Slack, I'm not able to get an answer quick enough when I'm in home.
mm,
Sometimes I'll just, like, text John and be like, "John, what do I do?" And he's like, "Oh, here you go." Or, that's what it's about. You're able to work together as a unit.
yeah. And it's obviously
That's
it's paying off. So how's your production been since you came on board? Since your lead flow turned on and you're getting your
Mhm.
contracts. How's that?
So the funniest thing is, my lead flow is not fully turned on.
Okay.
But with the ones that I've had, I closed $11,000 in a week with the lead flow that I was able to get.
Mm,
So that's like maybe seven. Like, I've gotten seven for the last 2 weeks.
mm.
And out of that seven, I was able to close 11.
Oh wow.
And right. And that was with two people actually picking up. This wasn't, you know, this is like the two, and then the third one, I'm coming back
Mm,
soon. So it's like things like that. So with the lead flow, it's amazing. That's what I'm saying. Just buy your leads, put in your order.
yeah.
Don't think about it. Just do it.
Oh no, the leads are
'Cause,
definitely
yeah, they're
special.
amazing.
They're
Yeah.
special.
Yeah.
It's been even for, when I was testing them when I first came on
Mhm.
board, I was just blown away at how good they were,
Yeah.
and the overall quality of them. So, um, that is, I'm glad that you're having success, and everyone,
Mhm.
it's just pretty unanimous across all the Slack, everyone that's
Yeah.
been reaching out to me. I just get texts and they're like, holy crap, I just got some leads in, got 2 leads in,
Yeah.
and I called and they set with both of them. I'm seeing them tomorrow. Like, this is
Oh
stupid.
wow. Yeah. Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
man, these leads are insane. It's like, yeah, you
Mhm.
don't need to have 100, whatever myth and crap that you've been taught before. It's not accurate. You don't need to
Yeah.
have that many leads. You don't need to buy more leads. You just need to have good leads.
Yeah.
So
But I realized something though.
what's
Like
that?
it's also perspective, right? So for us coming over here, if I was a brand new agent over here, I would have never realized how spoiled I was.
That's
Coming up
true.
from
That's true.
somebody, you know what I
Comparatively,
mean? But
yeah.
coming from somewhere else and coming over here, now I'm like, okay, I could totally do this. I have so much grit. I'm so used to rejection that it doesn't even matter anymore,
Yeah.
which sometimes is hard, but you learn endurance, right? You learn, you have to pick out, even when times are tough, you have to pick out what your strong point is and you
Mm.
roll with it. You just go with it. You have to.
Another reason we call them the practice company, because
Yeah.
you're gonna learn all that,
Yeah.
how to deal with
Practice, do what you need
negativity
to do.
there,
That's
all the
okay.
negativity over there. You can come over
Yeah.
here and you can realize how great it is. You're like,
Exactly.
wow,
Yeah.
this is what it's meant to be like as an insurance agent. This is
Yeah.
phenomenal. Yeah, definitely. I like that.
But I
Um,
absolutely love it. Yeah.
so how's the training been for you? I know you were talking about before, not really getting training, and
Hmm.
you all you have is prosperity as a carrier, and you're just like,
Yeah.
what do I do? They're just like, whatever, just figure it out. It's 5% of the business, but now it's just
Right.
like,
Right. Right.
you actually are learning about carriers, about products,
Hmm.
and it's helping you to obviously to secure
Yeah.
bigger deals in the home.
Well, so this is what I've realized. So it was funny because other companies, usually it's like you only have one or two products, right? If you go work at, any big company out there, whether it's like if you work strictly with AIG, you only can sell AIG.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there's only like two or three core, products that you can sell. But here we have over what, 50 carriers?
yeah.
It
50,
almost seems like 100
52.
sometimes.
We're gaining a
Yeah,
couple more now.
50. Exactly. So 50 companies, and we're growing every single day. And the fact that every single day they're adding on more, of course, as an agent, and when you're out in the field, you should only learn maybe five. Like
Mm,
that's your bread and butter. No matter what happens, stick to that.
yeah.
But I think the value of it is actually knowing what the difference is, because whenever I go into the home and I'm presenting three options, I have to know what I'm talking about.
That's true.
you
Yeah.
know you have to, like, okay, what's the difference between this term and that term? Well, this one's cheaper, okay, so let's go with this one. And then I've had a lot of some of the older clients where I live in California. No one's going to cover a $700,000 mortgage payment, so sometimes we have to play around. Like, I've had a few clients where, okay, I can give you $500,000 term but $200,000 whole life, or let's put it into an IUL or whatever it may be. Like, you kind of have to play around, and you have to know your product. You have to know which company is going to work with what company. I mean, they all work together. Of course, you could stack them. But if you have no idea, then,
Mm,
like, I had a lady I gave her a $500,000 policy, and I didn't even have NLG yet. I came in with an 86-page application. It was horrible. Like, I had
yeah.
to.
Their paper apps are not fun. Their paper apps are
No, I
not
signed
fun.
every single page, and I was just like, you know what? I'll come back and give you the copy, because what if I give you the wrong copy and they won't accept it?
Yeah.
So it was just, I mean, it was a fun experience. How about that?
Yeah.
Like, it's a good story now. Like, I had, printing out 86 pages, you know. So it's one of those. But other than that, stacking her with like a 200,000 product, Mutual of Omaha, and the fact that I was able to do it is the best feeling in the world. Like, you're able to be able to take care of all of your needs.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's phenomenal that you're having that success.
Yeah.
You're so there's I feel like whenever you're coming from the practice companies,
Hmm.
there's a couple of things that you have to kind of rewire. You know,
Hmm.
I first off is just the belief in the leads because you've been burned, obviously. The
Yeah.
second is the importance of training on carrier and products because
Hmm.
that one, we have so many different carriers that most people haven't even heard of or used.
Hmm.
But you know, I want to make sure that you're picking the best product. That's
Right.
what actually helps clients and
Hmm.
shows them that you're actually an advisor, you're taking care of them. It
Hmm.
reduces chargebacks, it reduces
Yes.
cancellations.
Yeah.
When you put them in the perfect product that it's not based off of somebody in your upline's bonus
Hmm.
or the company pushing that specific carrier
Yeah.
because they make more money.
Hmm.
It's based off of the client and what's best for them. You know what? Just to go off that tangent a little bit, I've actually talked to people that were getting were their upline would get upset at them if they wrote a specific product, and then would threaten them. This is at the
Oh,
practice company would threaten them
yeah.
to put them on as earned if they wrote another product outside of that specific carrier.
Oh man.
That's the kind of BS that's happening over there, and then they
Yeah.
wonder why people are jumping ship.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't make sense. Like why would you threaten that because somebody
Hmm.
put a client with a different carrier or product?
Yeah.
That's their version of leadership over there.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so,
actually, not just that one. I've actually had a few recruits where they were also working at other companies, not just the previous one that we've come through. And just sometimes, the leadership was just horrible.
mhm,
Like I was trying to recruit somebody yesterday, and she was telling me how, um, at the IMO that she's at right now, and we're working on getting her contracted over here. She speaks Spanish,
mhm,
so she came over here when she was high school, and right now they're just sitting here going, well, sometimes I don't understand you. And I'm sitting here going, well, you need to understand that your strong point it's in Spanish, and that's okay. You know,
yeah,
do a lot of your presentations in Spanish. And you know what? Sometimes when you are bilingual and you don't speak English very well, people are more understanding of it.
mhm,
They're sitting here going, and you can explain to them. They're like, you know what? I'm an immigrant and I'm here to show you something because it changed my life.
mhm,
And you can definitely sell the American dream it's just how you work it to your favor. That's
yeah,
it,
yeah.
you know?
And I appreciate when we find out that kind of stuff from companies
Yeah. Yeah.
because because it makes our job so much easier just to take care of people in an
Mhm.
authentic, genuine way.
Yeah.
And then they're just like, it's like,
Yeah.
holy crap, I didn't know I was missing out, and it just makes
Yeah.
it makes the
Yeah.
experience so much better for them.
Hmm.
And I'm glad that we can actually show them a better way.
Yeah.
um so all you practice companies, you keep doing that.
Yeah.
You keep treating agents like that, and
Yeah. With
for all
love
the
and
agents that are facing that, come on over here, have a conversation with Cynthia or myself or anyone else, and we will get you
yeah.
taken care of.
Yeah.
So so um your lead flow is coming in, it's kicking on, it's
It's
taking
coming
time.
in. Yeah. Yeah.
You're having success,
Hmm.
and you're building a team. What are you looking to accomplish here?
Honestly, it sounds so bad, but I am just trying to get out of debt.
Well, I mean, that's
Like, I spent 11 years building up this empire. And for me, I was like, I don't have all my eggs in one basket. I don't have one restaurant, right?
uh
I had seven, right? So then it's not like one specific one was failing, and they were all different. It wasn't like, oh, this was all Vietnamese food, or, I had a poke, I had an oyster bar, I had all these different restaurants it would make, like, if one shut down, it would make sense. It would
mhm,
be like, okay, well, nobody likes oysters all the time. All right, that's fine. It would make sense. But the pandemic it was just, there's nothing you can do. And it wasn't just me who lost restaurants. I know so many of my restaurant owner friends that some of them even lost their lives because they couldn't deal with the stress of every single day of, we're not making any money, we're not doing this. They
mhm,
just, you know unfortunately, some of them even took it, just because you built, this is like your whole dream, you spent so much time and money.
mhm,
And so that's why when my previous or my upline, he was just like, hey, you have to buy leads. I was like, that's fine. how much? Tell me how much, and I got this. And here I was able to save so much money. You know, like I said, mine are trickling in with just 7, and I wrote 11 grand.
Yeah.
That's what, $350. It's nothing.
Yeah. Well,
Well, over
that's a
there,
stupid
from
return. That's a
yeah,
stupid
yeah,
return.
over there, like I did everything out of the box. I knew I had to do everything out of the box because I was like, okay, if everyone is just buying from whatever sources that they're buying, all of these, different lead vendors,
Mhm.
and yet why is it that there's only like 15, 20 people that are breaking $50,000? So I had to think outside of the box, and then I had to try different things too. I had to try, creating a funnel. I had to work with other people in a funnel, or
Mhm.
I had to hire dialers. I had to, you get creative,
Yeah.
but it also sometimes it's great because then now I'm like partnering up with a funeral home, right? So like coming over here when I didn't have leads, I had to think outside of the box again, and it just let my creativity flow kind of.
Yeah.
That way I can just, try different things and it works. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, that's okay. We go back to the drawing board.
Yeah. I'm a big fan
Business is always
of
changing.
learning how to do funnels. Obviously I've
Yeah.
done that.
Hmm.
There's a lot of companies out there
Hmm.
that will teach you,
But they
if
will
you want to
also
get with
charge you a
me,
lot.
they'll also charge you a
They'll also
lot.
charge you a lot.
But here's my thing is that if this is your business and
Hmm.
this is like investing in anything else. This is just
Hmm.
teaching you how to control lead flow from a specific source. Like I've learned
Yeah.
how to do leads and funnels from Facebook, YouTube,
Hmm.
Google. So just so generating those
Hmm.
is easier for me. But it also
Right.
teaches you how to market. You can use it for anything. If you want to use
Hmm.
for recruiting, if you are looking to hire somebody for staff,
Hmm.
um, you can use the same exact tools and the skill set. And so, um, I do highly recommend it. It's the difference between chasing leads and attracting clients because you can set up
Hmm.
systems that will work for you
Yeah.
24/7. They never sleep. They never
Yeah.
take time off. And it's always generating in the background, looking for people that are interested in having a conversation with you. And if
Hmm.
you have a good message,
Yeah.
if you can speak well, if you can write well, and you
Hmm.
can understand the niche market that you're marketing to,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's done. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna have more than enough people to talk to because and you have people coming to you saying, "Hey, I want to set up a time on your calendar to speak."
Hmm.
And so there's a lot of
I
different
get a few
companies that'll
auto
do that.
books.
Hmm?
Did you get a few auto books? I get a few auto books. Like sometimes 2 a.m. they roll in,
Oh yeah,
and
oh yeah, yeah. I got
yeah,
a
those are
lot of
like the best thing to wake up to. You wake up
yeah.
and you have like 2 appointments set.
I set mine. I set my funnel to only book appointments.
Okay.
If they didn't book an appointment, I didn't speak with them.
Okay,
And
that makes sense.
on top of that, they would have to book an
Mhm.
appointment, and then after that, they'd have to fill out a questionnaire that I picked. And I picked
Oh.
specific questions. So my questions, like one of my questions was, why should I work with you? Why should I take the time out of my day to speak with you? And
So the
it's
intent is there.
yeah, so it's just like, dude,
Yeah, they're
I'm not looking to waste my time.
yeah.
And if you can't fill out these questionnaires or you can't, and it was a open block where they'd have to type
Hmm.
in an answer.
Hmm.
So, some people would be like, some people would answer, be like, that sounds a little off putting. Like, you should speak with me because I'm looking to get some coverage. Like, what else is
Yeah.
there? And then some people would go on a whole long explanation. Some people wouldn't answer at all. But, if I didn't have those questions answered, then
Hmm.
I didn't see with them. I did not sit with them. And
Yeah.
I did that on purpose. I generated that funnel in that
Right.
fashion on purpose to where they would schedule a time on my calendar, then fill out the information. And I
Hmm.
wanted to see that they're following instructions. I wanted to see that the next page when they schedule the calendar, it takes them to the last page of the funnel or
Hmm.
the next last, and it's like, hey, fill out the questionnaire below so that Greg can have a good conversation. He knows what you're looking for, and if you do not fill this out, your calendar event, your scheduled event will be canceled by Greg.
Oh wow,
And if they
that's
don't fit,
awesome.
and a lot of people wouldn't fill it out, and so I would cancel their event,
Yeah.
and then I would send them the link to jump back into to schedule again, and explain to them, say, hey, after you schedule, when you reschedule, you have to put in the information. And so about 50% would go back in and do that. And if somebody did that, that's a done deal. That's
Yeah, yeah,
there's no
yeah.
way they're
They've
not.
already closed themselves. I need the coverage. What
Yeah,
else do you need? Yeah.
yeah. So that means they were super high intent. But
Hmm.
that's a difference. Like most people, when I first started, it was very difficult for me to actually like cancel that appointment because I'm like, dude, they're already in my
Hmm.
calendar. So what?
Yeah.
They didn't fill out the information. I'll get on the phone. And so I kept thinking like, nah, it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna still talk to them. But what I
Yeah.
found is that most of those people don't even answer anyways. So
Yeah.
if I took the time to
Hmm.
to cancel it, resend the link with an explanation, which I just had to type it out once, copied and pasted, and
Yeah.
I would just copy paste every single time.
Yeah.
Um, then all I had to do is that, and then the people that did go through and fill it out, their intention was through the roof.
Got it.
So
Hmm.
because I'm setting myself aside as the
Yeah. Yeah.
professional, I'm the like you're dying to see me because I'm going to help you,
Yeah.
and so when you take that position with a niche market and you can showcase how you can help, but then you're just like, hey, look, like you're not going to just show up, you're not going to just
Hmm.
call me, my schedule's packed, and
Yeah.
when you come, you're going to come with all your information, you're going to come ready.
Hmm.
It makes them respect your time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
so, um, yeah, that's a powerful way to control the flow within your business. Because then you can literally say, hey, if I spent this much, I know I'm going to get this many
Hmm.
appointments in my calendar, and I know I'm going to
Hmm.
close this much. So you can literally, it's a numbers game at that point. It truly is a numbers game because you can say, I got to put in this much ad spend a day on my Facebook platform. That's going to generate by the end of the week X amount of AP
Hmm.
or X amount of sales. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, and I love doing that because then the
And you
message
see
that's
your
being,
numbers.
yeah, you
Yeah.
can see your numbers,
You see your conversions. You can see
you
everything.
you can see your conversions, you can play with that, like you can start to, there's so many things you can do with retargeting and making lookalike audiences, and there's so many things that you can do with,
Hmm.
and then you create your Google Ads account and you can have people retargeted over the web.
Hmm.
If they even look at your funnel on Facebook, it's game
Yeah.
over. Now they're going to see your face everywhere when they're shopping on Nordstrom. There's going to be an
Yeah.
ad floating that's going to be you. It's like
Yeah.
jump back into your funnel. You can, there's all that stuff that you can do, and it makes it's just they seamlessly kind of interact together,
Hmm.
and it makes it to where you just attract clients. So
Yeah.
there's systems working to bring people to you that are ready to
Yeah.
talk,
Yeah.
and then you can't ask for something better than that, honestly. So
Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, we're all business owners. And I think what's hard for some people is understanding that actually, when you're a business owners, there are times where I work way more than my friends that are on salary.
yeah,
I've worked 14 days, 14-hour days. I've worked 16-hour days, where most people are like, I want this to be a 9 to 5 job. And, but here at Advantage One, you can make it a 9 to 5 job, actually.
you can.
It's, but you have to also be disciplined at it. You have to know, all right, I wake up in the morning, what are my affirmations? What do you do? Like for me, I've started realizing when I affirm the appointment, it goes my way.
Mm,
I will sit there and I will be like, all right, Greg Birch, I'm going to sit down with him today and we are going to close a deal. I don't know what I'm walking out with, but we're going to get something for him. And that's it. And so walking into an appointment with you, I'm ready. I'm stoked.
yeah,
Hey,
it
Mr.
changes your
Birch.
mindset. You're more
Yeah,
attuned. You
exactly.
you
Yeah.
you can flex back and forth.
Hmm.
You just pay attention. You start to see signs. And you're right. You put it out there in
Yeah.
the universe,
Yeah.
and it's like your subconscious mind is like, okay, I've committed to this. I'm gonna find
Yeah.
a way to make it happen. So then your subconscious mind is kicked on, and it's
Exactly.
looking at everything, and it's like, oh, don't go down this path because if you
Yeah.
do, they're gonna give you a big fat no, and
Hmm.
you're gonna close off. So let's tailor off and go over here, and you start
Yeah.
to you pick up smaller things. I don't know
Well,
what it
I'll
is.
challenge whoever who's watching this podcast with us. Whenever you get a chance to, like every morning, right when you like brush your teeth, look at yourself in the mirror. Just whoever you have an appointment with that day,
Mm,
just say their name out. Doesn't matter. Hey, I have an appointment today with Greg Birch. I'm gonna close him. I don't know what I'm gonna close. I'm gonna close him. That's it. That's all you have to say, and just say it out so that your whole body can just feel it. Okay, I can hear it. I can hear myself saying it.
mm,
I can kind of see myself thinking this. I I can do this. That's it.
Absolutely.
And when you walk in, you're totally confident. Yeah.
And that confidence makes the difference.
Mm-hmm. It
Because then,
does.
because it does,
Absolutely.
because then you know you're sitting down with somebody who doesn't know you from Adam,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you're either on Zoom or you're in the
Mm-hmm.
home, and that confidence just it really does turn into the doctor patient
Yeah.
relationship, because you come in, you're like, hey, look, this is what we're gonna do. You lay
Mm-hmm.
it out, boom. Okay, so let's have a conversation. Let's talk. Let's find out what makes the most sense for you. And when you're
Yeah.
confident, when your delivery with that, man, they're so much more comfortable telling you things and like answering
Mm-hmm.
questions because you've set the stage.
Yeah.
If you go in and you're super nervous and you're not ready, can you close it? Yeah, you still can, but
You
it just
can. If the
it's
product's great enough, you can.
yeah,
We
the
have
products
good enough products.
the products
It's
sell
amazing here.
themselves, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's it's the 20-80 rule. So there's gonna be
Yeah.
20% they're gonna be one way or the other. So 10% are gonna
Mm-hmm.
say yes no matter what. 10% are
Mm-hmm.
gonna say no no matter what. No, you
Yeah.
can be the best person in the world, they're gonna say no. But there's
Yeah.
still that 80% that are on the fence. And they're in
Mm-hmm.
varying stages of on the fence, either leaning towards buying or leaning towards not buying. But
Yeah.
all that 80% you can sway one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Depending upon your actions, depending upon your skill, depending upon how confident you are, depending upon how they feel about you. Because let's be
Mm-hmm.
real, people don't buy life insurance because you know it's a tangible product. It's not something they
Oh
can
yeah.
touch, taste, feel,
Oh yeah.
nothing. It's a product they're buying for peace of mind, but they're buying you.
Yeah.
They're
Absolutely.
buying because they trust you, they like you,
Yeah.
they believe in you, and they're like, you know what, this guy's this guy or gal is like the real deal. Like they're really taking
Mm-hmm.
care of me, and they feel
Mm-hmm.
special that you did something unique for them,
Mm-hmm.
and that comes when you're not using the same company, same product.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. I mean, if you think about it, like I'm in San Jose, California. You go to Safeway and you could definitely see like someone just write their logo like as you're in your little shopping cart, like insurance, buy insurance.
yeah,
So, if you go through, there's billboards everywhere. I don't know how it is. You're in Texas, right? I don't know how
Texas.
it is over there. But even if you go to LA, right, there's 5 million people in population in certain counties, like not even like the whole area of it. So then because of that, when you like sit there, people are buying it because of how you're acting, what's your attitude,
Mm-hmm.
or how are you going to be able to help them, right? Because people have to see it. Our agency, um, we were called win-win because it has to be a win-win. You have to show them that look, there's value, and at the end of the day, you also get compensated very well.
Yeah,
But you also have to show them that look, I'm able to help you. This is what I can do. This is what I'm going to do for you. And you show them the value, and that's it.
absolutely.
And yeah,
That's why I love the question. Is that fair?
yeah,
Because it just denotes a business transaction is about to take place. Hey, I'm
yeah.
going to do this. I'm going to ask you questions. You're going to give me some answers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to find a product that makes the most sense for you. We're going to see if we get you approved. The one that you like the best. Is that fair?
Yeah,
And there's, yeah, that's fair. Okay, let's go. It's very simple, and it lays it out all
yeah,
on the
yeah.
table. And and most people aren't going to say no, that's not fair, because they're not going to be like what
It
I
doesn't
said.
make any sense.
It doesn't make any
Yeah,
sense to say it's not fair. It's a fair transaction. Like you asked to sit with me by
yeah.
filling out this form, and you asked to get information. And my
Mm-hmm.
job's to find you something that you can be approved for. But I got to ask you questions. I got to get to know you, and I'm going to find something that does make sense for you, that fits what you're looking for.
Right.
And the thing that you like the best, we're going to apply, see if we can get you approved. Is that fair? There's nothing unfair about that statement, about that question.
Yeah.
So there's no reason for anyone to be like, I don't know. What if they say? What if they say it's not fair? They won't. I've never, out of the hundreds of appointments that I've said since I started saying that, never
Yeah,
once has
yeah.
someone said, no, that doesn't seem fair at all. it's never
Oh, that
happened.
doesn't seem right.
Nope,
It's
nope,
not for
nope,
me.
nope. This is what I usually get is like, well, I'm just looking for a quote, and I'll say, and now go back through, and I'm like, hey, perfect. That's exactly
Mm-hmm.
what I'm going to give to you today. There's a lot of different companies, a lot of different programs, and a quote's only
Mm-hmm.
as good as the paper. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't tell you anything. My job is
Yeah.
to try to find something that you like the best that you're going to get
Mm-hmm.
approved for. So in order to do that, we got to do an application to see if they'll even approve you. So
Yeah.
I'll show you the quotes. You're going to pick one that you like the best for the program you like the best,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll see if we get you approved. Is that fair?
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm here to help you start the process.
Yep. It makes
Yep.
it makes the conversation just a lot more easy. It's
Hmm.
I'm not like, because I like doing it that way because you can do it while you're in a remote setting over Zoom or
Hmm.
FaceTime. Um, and it's assumptive without being aggressive.
Right.
It's
Right.
without being like, hey, go get your driver's license and your social security
Hmm.
card and like this and that and a checkbook because we're doing business today. I've done that before in the home. Does it work? Yeah, but it's a little aggressive. You cannot do that over
Yeah.
Zoom or FaceTime. It's just not going to work.
Yeah.
If you do
Yeah.
that, they're going to be like, not
Yeah.
interested.
All
Hey,
right, buddy. I'm
this
just
is
gonna
not
hang
what I
up.
was looking for. Have a good day. And
Yeah.
they're off of the Zoom or they're hanging up on FaceTime before you have a chance. So
Yeah.
you can be assertive
Hmm.
without being aggressive, and you can kind of set
Hmm.
the stage while making them feel comfortable. And
Absolutely.
that's what I feel that when you do it that way. I
Yeah.
feel like our conversations are just like all over the place right now today.
I know. I
This is good.
know.
I like it. I like it, Cynthia.
Well,
So
I always tell them it's the verification process because right now, I mean, with COVID happening, there's so much crime happening. How do I know who you are, who you're going to say you are? I mean, I don't know, like, especially if it's through Zoom, right?
yeah,
I don't know if that's really your driver license. I don't know. And is the picture outdated and a million things? So now when I tell them, I go, well, I'm just letting you know the insurance company is very serious about you. So the process, when they do the verification process, it takes 3 steps. It takes your social security number, your ID, and it takes your bank. That way they know you are who you say you are. Because it's one thing to know someone's social. Like I know my parents' social
yeah,
and I've called in many times for them, for the doctor's prescription or things like that.
yeah.
But then to know their banking information, that's a whole different story. It's something that only you yourself,
Or your
And so I tell
driver's
them,
license number, its
yeah,
expiration date, all that stuff. Yep.
yeah, yeah. So now I tell them the verification process, they want to make sure it's fully you, not someone taking out a life insurance policy on you. Because
Yeah.
if something happens to you, we don't want that happening either. So
That's a
with
good
that
way
being
to that's a
said,
good way to pitch it. That's actually
yeah,
that makes a lot of
yeah.
sense.
So I tell
It's
them
very
it's a
logical.
verification process. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Have to be.
I like that. I
It
like
has
that.
to make sense. So that's what I tell them. And probably 9 out of 10 times, the one time that I do get pushback is more likely like I don't feel comfortable, and I go, okay, so let's go back. What exactly am I here for? What would you like me to do? And I address the problem, and then after that, it's a little bit of tug and pull. Just some people are kind of iffy about giving it out, but other than that, most people are okay with their verification process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If somebody gives me pushback, um, on social or anything where they feel like I can tell they just don't feel comfortable giving me, they're like, I don't feel comfortable giving that. I don't get social really anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's something that happens when it's almost like self manifested because you're like they're not going to give me their social, and then since you think about it
Well,
so much,
don't say that. Yeah.
since you think about it so much, they don't, and then you're like I knew it. It's just like,
So if you
but
get scared, now stand in the mirror and say, "Today I'm going to meet with
today
Greg
I'm going to
Birch.
meet with
I'm
10
going to get
people and
his
I'm getting 10
name, his
socials.
social, his
Like,
his banking information, say everything."
yeah. If you believe it, your confidence goes through the roof when you ask for it,
Yeah.
and people just give it. But I really like the Forrest Gump method. I've taught it
Hmm.
before. I got a text from somebody the other day, and they're like, "Dude, I used the Forrest Gump method. They didn't want to give me their bank information, and I used it, and he gave me everything." He was like, "That method is dope." I was like, "Yeah, it's a good method. It works. It's something
Yeah.
simple. It's almost like intrinsically just human about it.
Yeah.
When you introduce yourself and talk and give
Hmm.
personal details about yourself, and you're like,
Hmm.
hey, this is who I am, this is why I do what I do.
Hmm.
It's a very simple concept, but it works on like just the most basic of levels, subconsciously, that it makes people more comfortable, and they're like, you know what, okay, let's go ahead and see if we can get you approved.
Well, in the last, like, I think 4 or 5 appointments that I've had that I've been closing more,
Mhm.
the first thing I do is tell them to get their cell phone out and take a picture of my ID or take a picture of my license. So in my binder, I have nothing in there. I don't have a big old binder anymore. I
Yeah,
literally only have my license and my E&O. And then after that, I have blank sheets of paper just to write down all their information. Because sometimes it's just, I can type it all out,
yeah,
but sometimes writing it out, people see it and they're like, okay, this person's serious about me. They're taking out time. It's the small things.
yeah,
And then when I'm telling them like, oh, is that fair? I'm nodding, and eventually people kind of mirror you exactly. And
exactly.
they start nodding and they're like, okay, yeah, let's do this.
Yep.
You know, so it's definitely the small things. It's your body language, it's your tone, it's almost the whole package.
Yeah.
When you're going in there and you're excited, that's why you can't, even if you have like 3 or 4 appointments in a day, and if somebody tells you no in the first one, who cares?
Yeah.
Come back to it. They
And,
weren't
and
ready
go,
at that
go
time.
go to the next one and go help the
Yeah,
person that's ready. It's not like
exactly.
it's not that big of a deal to stress about.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
because you don't want your mindset going in the dumps
Hmm.
because you missed an appointment or you
Because you
missed
carry
two
it.
appointments. Yeah, you do, and people can
You
tell
do.
that.
Yeah,
Absolutely, people can tell that. So, no,
yeah.
that's fantastic. Cynthia, this has been a good conversation. I appreciate you taking the time to
Absolutely. Yeah.
chat
Thank
with
you
me.
for the opportunity.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So Cynthia,
Yes,
if
sir.
anybody watched this and they're like, "Man, I want to be a part of
Mhm.
her win-win agency," which I like the name, by the way. I want to be a part of win-win. I want to win with other winners, and we all win
Yeah.
together. How can they get in touch with you, Cynthia?
Well, I mean, you had my Instagram up there, right
Yeah.
there. And then if not, my cell phone number is 669-285-9873. So just feel free to shoot me a text, call me. Most likely, if I don't pick up right away, it's probably because I'm in class or
Yeah.
I had like midterms this week. So I have been, but it's funny because now I'm not even stressed out because I'm like, you know what? It's 5 hours of work. It's
Yeah.
fine. I can schedule it all in one day and burn it out. I'm just waiting for midterms to be done and then I'm good to go.
There you go.
Or just give me 3 more years, Advent one. I could represent you guys.
Hey, who knows?
Give me
We,
three
we
more
we
years.
we may take you up on that. So,
Yeah, definitely. But
Cynthia, thank you so much for coming on
no, thank
board and
you.
sharing with agents. I think this was a fantastic conversation. Um,
Yeah.
for all the agents watching, thank you so much
Mhm.
for taking part in our training today. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and you have your notifications turned on so that you get notifications when we come to you each and every weekday with new topics and trainings specifically for you, the agent. If
Mhm.
you enjoyed this, if you got anything out of it, even the smallest bit of entertainment, listening to Cynthia and I just chat about shoot the crap,
Everything.
then then
Everything.
here's the fee. Share it with somebody else that can get something out of it.
Yeah.
Share the content, share it with somebody, and we're out here just trying to have conversations about real, raw truth, honesty of everything that's going on, and we want to help every agent out there. Save all the agents.
Mhm.
Hashtag save the agents. So,
Save them all.
save them all. Thank you so much for watching.